Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to begin this lesson here by giving all praises, all honor, and all glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Rachakodash, and double honors goes to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace, blessings, and salutations goes to the elect. You see, brother, I'm a one from the Great Millstone camp in Trinidad, coming back to do another lesson to the Rachakodash. The Holy Spirit and the power of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, right? As we always do. And I will ask ChatGPT this. Or Grok. I'm gonna see Grok, because you know why I want to ask Grok? This clown called Elon Musk, right? He said ChatGPT is a woke GPT. It's more for black people. So I'm gonna ask Grok, why is anti-Semitism such a touchy topic for the Jewish people? Well, please try again soon or sign up for free to get higher priority access. What? Brother, what the fuck you deal with? You see? See what on? Sign up. I don't want to fucking sign up, shit, mother ass. I don't want to sign up. Fuck all you. Max this, Max it in ChatGPT. Why is anti-Semitism such a touchy topic for Jewish people? That's an important and sensitive question, and the short answer is because anti-Semitism isn't abstract history for Jewish people. It's a recurring lived reality with catastrophic consequences. Here's why it carries such emotional and historical weight. A long continuous history of persecution. Anti-Semitism isn't a single historic event. It spans over 2,000 years. Jewish communities have faced expulsion from countries like England 1290, Spain 1492, pogroms in the Russian Empire, legal discrimination across Europe and the Middle East, the Holocaust under Adolf Hitler in Nazi Germany. The Holocaust wasn't ancient history, it ended in 1945. Right, so let me ask this here now. Why isn't the same sentiment shown for the mass killings of Native American Indians and also the ridiculous amount of slaves taken from Western Africa and brought over to the Americas and the Caribbean and the torture they faced at the hands of those people. I don't want to put white people. Right, so let me ask this question. That's a serious and fair question. The short answer is the sentiment absolutely exists. But history, power structures, visibility, and how societies remember trauma all shape how strongly and consistently it shows up about the scale and reality of those atrocities. The destruction of indigenous peoples in the Americas involved mass death from violence, and forced displacement, disease introduced through colonization, cultural erasure, and boarding schools, land seizure, and broken treaties. In places like the United States, Canada, and across Latin America, shit fucking line ass. Anyways, these small hats, right? They like to play victim. They love to play victim. They love to play victim. Wait. Why me coming wrong, bro? Yeah, I wouldn't say they like to play victim. I would say they love to play victim. They love it. Right? They love to play victim. Why do people hate the Jews? A year ago, why the has been persecuted? Why has the world hated for more than 2,000 years through causes of anti-Semitism? Why are the small hats, tiny tops targeted? 2 years ago, watch host's face as Thomas Sowell exposes the real origin of small hats hatred and his narratives that has just be running on people. Hey, this will be a good how small hats American pedo what on the news? What? That would be a lovely fucking. But unpacked the secret origin of Ashkenazi. But a Muslim. What the narrative 10 years ago he running? Netanyahu says Hitler didn't want to kill small hats, but a Muslim convinced him to do it. Holy. Wow. So yeah, I you know what I'll do? I'll play this video here from Elisha Wanba. And I'll play the parts of the video where, matter of fact, fair use, right? I should get the fair use disclaimer and say it or put it up in the beginning of the video. What is the name of this video? Tucker Carlson. I'm gonna get Tucker Carlson because I love this video. I show and Badu. I love it. I did a lesson based on it earlier on, and I want to do I doing a next lesson based not strictly on it, but you know, kinda about it. We will touch on other things through the spirit once the spirit allow we. But look at here. 4 million views, right? So these fair use, right?
We're about to play you an interview we did with U.S. Ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee, 2 days ago in Israel.
Right. He talking about where you were, okay. Let me start, let me go here. You come to here now. Mike Huckabee.
That is a part. Would the inverse be true that a country that does not abide by international law forfeits its right to exist?
Not necessarily if it has the capacity to stay and make its case known. But there have been Jewish people in this land,
but that's
in this very land, for 3,800 years.
Okay, so...
But always not them people, brethren. Them people, you know what I'll do? I'll slow it down a little bit. Or I'll speed it up. So you think it'll be exact speed that they're accustomed to, so they wouldn't jump me, man.
But you're saying, as the modern nation state with borders and a military and a Knesset and just all the kind of trappings of a modern country, all of which I support, that country has, every country on the planet has the same right as Israel to exist because it does exist. Is that what you're saying? I'm just trying to understand the concept here.
Well, I think what we're trying to get to is Christian Zionism, and you've taken this way off the road.
I don't know that I have. I don't need to. Christian Zionism is a separate thing, but I just keep hearing people say Zionism is the belief
That's the fundamental argument that's going on. Does Israel have a right to live in their indigenous, ancient, historical land, a land that has been affirmed throughout international organizations, a land that has direct ties to the Jewish people?
I just want to know if this is a universal...
As the other Yashon was saying, where the scriptures is, boy, brother, boy, where the scriptures is? Where the scriptures? Ask me why we deserve to be in the land. Okay, say, I'm a one, why all you believe all is Israelites? Alright, I'm gonna read some scriptures here for you. Because I mean, we have to go back to the book. If you're claiming there's something biblical, come in the Bible. All you're claiming to be some biblical heritage, you know. That is what you're claiming, all you have, a biblical heritage. But you're refusing the scriptures? That's weird as hell, bro. That's weird. I'm gonna get Deuteronomy the 28th chapter. Deuteronomy 28. And I'll read from verse 4. This is dealing with curses that the Jews, the real Jews, would suffer. As a matter of fact, let me read verse 48. I read verse 45 first. And this is something that is a sign upon them, so you will know who they are as well. Moreover, Deuteronomy 28 and 45, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee. Right? And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. What are going to be upon you for? A sign and a wonder, and upon your seed forever. So meaning you can't hide from it. You can't run from it. You can't hide from it. It's there. It's right in your face. It's on you. It everywhere you turn, it's there. Can't no running. Can't no hiding from it. Right? But that's lovely. That's lovely. So the real people can't hide. The real people can't hide. Good to know. Good to know. The real people can't hide. Alright, nice. Tell me somebody calling me. Salakia, eh? Yeah. So what we sure about is that the real people cannot hide, because it will be upon them for a sign and a wonder, and upon your children. Let me get the a different version for that verse. The NIV say, there will be a sign and a wonder to you and your descendants forever. And that forever is not forever as in forever, ever. Forever meaning, people say, wait, but it's taking forever to come. But eventually the person does show. Meaning for a long period of time. Right? That is that forever there. The CSB says these curses will be a sign and a wonder against you and your descendants forever. The NASB 20 says they will become a sign and a wonder against you and your descendants. A sign. We get the meaning of that word sign. Come from the Hebrew awath, and it means a distinguishing mark. Right? A distinguishing mark. A sign, a signal, a distinguishing mark, a banner, a remembrance, miraculous sign, omen, warning, token. I remember something you always go and see and remember there. That is the people. So since we get that out of the way, let me ask ethnically, which I know the chat go and lie. I know the chat go lie. Let me ask the chat. Ethnic. Jews. This question, as it touches on income and ethnicity, so it's important to answer carefully. Short answer, it continues. In countries like the US, on average, Jewish households have higher median income than black households, but that doesn't mean Jews are richer than black people. In the absolute or universal sense. We find something else here now. Chef, fuck it, I know the chat go and lie, I tell you. I know the chat go and lie. Kanye West showing Jewish people owns everything. Kanye West, Change the Game TV is a short. Let's play.
Of Universal Studios, 20th Century Fox, ABC News, CBS News, Columbia Pictures, Warner Brothers, ESPN Sports, Fox News, Washington Post, Metro Go and Meyer, MTV Music Television, Nickelodeon, USA Today, Wall Street Journal, Comedy Central, NBC Entertainment, Google, what else do we have? Disney, ABC Kids and Family, YouTube, Los Angeles Times, Discovery Network, Paramount Pictures, Facebook, Huffington Post, Yahoo, Marvel, Hulu, Cosmopolitan, Time, Touchstone, Associated Press, Pixar, Miramax, HBO, New York Post, LucasArts, MSNBC, DreamWorks Animation. Now the thing is, I skipped over maybe about 5 of them because it was just unclear on this list. The red are the executives that are Jewish. Part of
Although the nigga apologized, he wasn't fucking lying. He wasn't lying. Right? Have you played this song? You can explain.
Kanye West just can't seem.
Nada. He apologized, yes. You see what they're saying?
ESPN Sports, Fox News, Washington Post, Metro Go and Meyer, MTV Music Television, Nickelodeon, USA Today, Wall Street Journal, Comedy Central. At these companies.
Do you think they stuck together when they heard what you said? Was that what happened?
Well, what I said is ESPN Sports, Fox News, Washington Post, Metro Go and Meyer, MTV
okay.
Music Television, Nickelodeon.
We don't need no more of that. You don't need no more of that. So, financially, they are superior wealthy. So let me read this here now in Deuteronomy 28 and verse. Well, are we from 41? It says, "Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity." I would gladly like to see one of these tiny tops explain this to me and tell me this is a sign on them. I would like to see it. I'll wait. It says, "All thy trees and fruit of thy land shall the locusts consume." Verse 43 says, "The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee." Alright, let me see what the word stranger they mean. Okay, they love to call people goyim. Or ga. Ga or goy. They love to call people goyim, right? Sojourner, a temporary inhabitant, a newcomer lacking inherited rights of foreigners in Israel, though conceded rights. See? Go. Go. Or go. Ga. The real word is ga. Israel is ga. But they see that they say goyim or goyim. They love to say that, right? So tell me where the goyim or the goy, the cattle, as they refer to anybody who is not an Israelite as a Israeli Jew. Tell me where, yeah? Salak, tell me where the goyim above them. Point me in that direction. Where the goyim above them. This is the word here, right? Gawa. So that's why I just say goy. Because it had the wa in it. Point me in the direction where the goyim rise up above them very high and they very low. To sojourn, abide, dwell with, remain, inhabit, be a stranger, be continuing, surely. To sojourn, dwell for a time, to abide, right. Because it now say that the stranger that is within the goyim, that is amongst them, if them is the people, would get up above them very high, and that they would be brought down very low. Where is that happening? That's not happening. That's not happening at all. Verse 44 says, he shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. Show me where that happening now, brother. Show me where. Show me where in this world, in this life, that happening. Majority of the people who own the banks to lend money is small arms. The Red Shield, who this guy here trying to defend for his life and did a horrible job at it.
Universal principle. I guess that's what I'm getting at, because if it's not, then it's meaningless to me, because as a Christian I believe in universal principle. Something is right for everyone or it's wrong for everyone. We don't believe in special cases.
Here's the question. If the Jews didn't have this land, would the Jews have a right to any land?
I don't know. I'm not attacking the Jews. I'm asking if this applies to every people in every nation. Does every nation have the same right to its own homeland, to its own physical land, that you say Israel does?
I feel like we're in a rabbit hole here.
No, I think it's a very straightforward question.
No, but
does that right extend to other countries other than Israel?
But the most important thing that is going on in our culture right now is whether or not the people that are yelling in the streets from the river to the sea, whether that's a legitimate...
The people that are yelling, this is the part I did hear from Elder Yashua one by video, boy. The people that are yelling in the streets from the river to the sea. Just come out and see the prophets outside on the street corners. Who the fuck else has been in the streets talking about? I tell you, these people watching every single thing. The monetizing, yeah. The what's that? What's that? The frightened, the death of the... Let me read that precept here. The real scared and a part of what I'm telling you. This is the book of Job. Wait, say, what precept is that about Job? Wait, say, Job 22. I know what it's saying. A song is in his ears. A dreadful song, Job 15:21. I know it, I was thinking 22:15. Let me read it here. Job 15 and 22. 20, it says, the wicked man travaileth with pain all his days, and the number of years is hid to the oppressor. Yeah, them don't care about how much years the oppressor have. I'm just going on oppress and oppress and oppress and oppress and oppress and oppress and oppress. Verse 21 says, a dreadful sound is in his ears. A dreadful sound. Let me get the meaning of the word dreadful. It comes from the Hebrew pachad. Pachad. And it means terror, dread, dread, object of dread. Pachad, again. To fear, tremble, revere, dread, to be in awe or dread. I'm going to get next precept here and I will come back to this here, which is in the book of Acts. Acts 24 and 25, which the Apostle Paul was before Felix. I read from verse 24. It says, and after certain days when Felix came with his wife Drusilla, which was a Jewess, and she wasn't a real Israelite, right? She wasn't an Israelite. He sent for Paul and heard him concerning the faith in Hamashiach. She was a Jewess because she was of Herod and them lineage. Let me get that there real quick, right? Drusilla. Drusilla, watered by the dew, the daughter of Agrippa the elder, wife of Felix the governor of Judea, a most licentious woman. You get the meaning of the word licentious now? You get the meaning of the word licentious? Oh fuck, man. How are you doing now, eh? Fuck, I'm too versed with the computer now, eh? I'm gonna just type it up here. Licentious, promiscuous and unprincipled in sexual matters. Dissolute, dissipated, debauched, degenerate, salacious. She was a little whore. She was fully engulfed in the Roman way. Right? Drusilla, a feminine diminutive of Drusus, a Roman name. Drusilla, a member of the Herodian family. She was a Herodian. And Felix was her husband. She was a little rat. Like you know the fucking Bed Bunny Blues of the day. What's she name, buddy? Marilyn Monroe, the Betty Boops back then. Yeah. That is who the woman was. A whore. So let me see who is Felix now. Felix Happy, a Roman procurator of Judea appointed by the Emperor Claudius in AD 53. He ruled the province in a mean, cruel and profligate manner. His period of office was full of troubles and seditions. Paul was brought before Felix at Caesarea. He was remanded in prison and kept there 2 years in hopes of extorting money from him. At the end of that time, Porcius Festus was appointed to supersede Felix, who, on his return to Rome, was accused by the Jews in Caesarea and would have suffered the penalty due to his atrocities had not his brother Pallas prevailed with the Emperor Nero to spare him. The wife of Felix was Drusilla, daughter of Herod Agrippa I, who was his third wife, and whom he persuaded to leave her husband and marry him. It's a whore. She was a fucking whore. She was an Israelite, right? Adulteries happening. So he and all was an Israelite. So we have two Edomites here, Felix and Drusilla. Acts 24:24. And after certain days, when Felix came with his wife Drusilla, which was a Jewess, she was a Jewess because her father was Herod and them were practicing Jews. That's the reason why John the Baptist told Herod, son on them, why it is you're sleeping with your brother Philip's wife. He's a Jew. Fucking nastiness you practice. John didn't give a fuck. When you listen, and then men say that man follow the truth. Yeah, any kind of thing. That man didn't care about the king. He said, why you sleeping with your brother? Why you sleeping with your brother wife? Why you know you're supposed to do that? Well, he's fucking heathen, boy. When I wrong that about way, extrapolate it. I will tell him, well, he's heathen. We don't practice them things. Adultery you're committing there. She ended up saying, nah, well, we had to kill him. And he was glad to kill him too, eh? Yeah, he don't mind. It says, and he sent for Paul and heard of him concerning the faith in Hamashiach. And as he reasoned of the righteousness, temperance, and judgment to come, Felix trembled and answered, go thy way for this time. When I have a convenient season, I will call for thee. Let me get it in a different translation because it Felix trembled. NIV says, and as Paul talked about the righteousness, self-control, and the judgment to come, Felix was afraid and said, that's enough for now. You may leave. Get frightened. Why you get frightened? Because Paul was telling them the fucking Edomites, yeah, the wicked of this earth, that have judgment to receive from the hands of the Lord. All the wickedness that happened to we people is going to be reversed. That is what the apostle would be telling them. He being a Edomite get frightened, and it's the same thing going on right now. That is what the scripture says. A dreadful sound is in his ears. Let me read what the ESV says. And as he reasoned about righteousness, self-control, and the coming judgment, Felix was alarmed. He was not alarmed. CSB. Now as he spoke about righteousness, self-control, and the judgment to come, Felix became afraid. Get frightened. And then he said, and he replied, leave now, but when I have an opportunity, I'll call for you. You will never call back. NASB 20. But as he was discussing righteousness, self-control, and the judgment to come, Felix became frightened and responded, go away for now, and when I have opportunity, I will summon you. He get frightened. He gets scared. He's like, what the fuck? And just like how it terrified them back then, guess what? Terrifying them today. Job 15:21. A dreadful sound is in his ears. So I get the meaning of the word dreadful, right? Oh no, I didn't look up the meaning of the word tremble. Anything. Job 15:21. It says a dreadful song is in his ears. In prosperity, the destroyer shall come upon him. Right. In prosperity, the destroyer will come upon him. And who is the destroyer? That is the Lord. He going to come and destroy him. And he tell himself, everything good, everything nice. Yeah, the Lord going and say, nope, nigga. Nope. It's not all good and nice and fun and dandy and fun and games. Something going to be required of you. Yep. And that's just what it is. You damn devils have a lot to play for. Hear what the man saying, right? Hear what the man saying.
Have a right to any land. I don't know. I'm not attacking the Jews. I'm asking if this applies to every people in every nation. Does every nation have the same right to its own homeland, to its own physical land that you say Israel does?
I feel like we're in a rabbit hole here.
No, I think it's a very straightforward question. But does that right extend to other countries other than Israel?
But the most important thing that is going on in our culture right now is whether or not the people that are yelling in the streets from the river to the sea, whether that's a legitimate point of view to say that there should not be a question.
But does that right extend to other countries?
Here what you say.
Other than Israel?
But the most important thing that is going on in our culture right now is whether or not
the most important thing that is going on in our culture right now, the most important thing. Remember, as a liar showing the most type of spirit on Tucker Carlson to ask this man some questions, No type of spirit on Tucker, Because the questions hard hitting and he gain it. Blood clot. Yeah. He gain some hard questions. You don't know how to answer. But he said the most important thing, have you heard him?
Right to its own homeland, to its own physical land that you say Israel does.
I feel like we're in a rabbit hole here.
No, I think it's a very straightforward question. But does that right extend to other countries other than Israel?
But the most important thing that is going on in our culture right now is whether or not the people that are yelling in the streets from the river to the sea.
So the most important thing going on in their culture right now is whether or not the people that are yelling on the streets, the people that have what? What are they doing on the streets?
Land that you say Israel does.
I feel like we're in a rabbit hole here.
No, I think it's a very straightforward question. But does that right extend to other countries other than Israel?
But the most important thing that is going on in our culture right now is whether or not the people that are yelling in the streets from the river to the sea, whether that's a...
I'm going to ask ChatGPT who are the people that are yelling on the streets. Who do people have the most to complain about that they It really depends on the country and the moment in time, but generally the people you see on the street corners yelling are usually protesting one of a few recurring issues. Yeah, you on fucking shit. Yeah, we don't need to ask that to the chat. The chat trying to deter you and carry all kind of... Yeah. But we know who they're referring to. Exactly what you're referring to. That's the same phrase the Donald Trump did use. Who was Donald Trump? This was I asked ChatGPT last night in a different tab. Who was Donald Trump referring to when he said perennial prophets of doom? They say he was speaking broadly about critics who, in his view, constantly predicted American decline. He said that in 2017, right? Look what Mike Zuckerberg, what the fucking name is? Mike Huckabee or Huckabee or some asshole name here. What is his name? Mike Huckabee. I laugh when I see this this picture of him to a laptop. What kind of face? This is a creep. This is a creep. And all of this distraction is just this distraction from the list. You see that list? That Epstein file list that they don't want nobody to know about. That is that is it right. The Epstein list. They don't want nobody to know about that list. They want to keep that list under wraps. You understand? But it can be kept under wraps. How you gonna keep it under wraps? The truth must come out on all that. That's just what it is. You've been doing wickedness for the longest while, and the truth must come out on all you at some point in time. How long you feel you're going to do wickedness for? You rest all your life? No, boy, brother, boy. Don't work like that, boy, brother, boy. Don't work like that, boy, brother, boy. No, boy, brother, boy. Some point in time, righteousness must happen, boy. You understand? And all your wickedness must come to an end at some point in time. Like, be real.
That's a legitimate point of view to say that there should not be a Jewish homeland. There should not be a Jewish
You'll
state.
never hear me say
period.
that. I just want to
I
know.
know you haven't said it, but
if
that's the argument.
It's one of the arguments going on globally. In the United States, excuse me, has a pretty narrow view, I would say, in our media culture, what's happening around the world. There are plenty of countries having this debate. Stonehenge is a lot older than the first temple in Israel. And it was built by the same people who live there now. It's the same people. And they are being pushed off their island and outnumbered by people from other places. And so in Great Britain, in Ireland, which is also a country with a nation of people, a race, if you will, that is being replaced.
Who are they being replaced by?
Immigrants.
Okay.
From other places.
I just wanted to clarify because I was one of the...
Well, just as a demographic matter, it's just like you can look at the numbers. It's not controversial. Just look at the numbers. There'll be a minority in their country. And their people have been there longer than Jews have been in Israel. And so they're having this debate too. That's all I'm saying.
Fuck, this is unnecessary talking at all. Hey, here was the real deal, eh? You and fucking you going in slavery. It don't matter how much all you talk, how much all you going in fucking slavery, boy. Right? It's your weird self. Zuckerberg, Huckabee, or fuck whatever your name is. Zuckbee, Zuckerbee, or yeah, all you going into captivity. That's just what it is, right? And it ain't going on. No matter how much interviews all you do ain't going on. Stop what coming. What coming is what coming. None of all you fit. Tell the Rothschilds that they do not fit, but we fit in the scriptures. Because all this talk here and all them bringing out no precepts. Meet we on the street corners and we go in the book to justify we claim that we are the chosen people. Right? When they meet we on the street corners, we go in the book to justify ourselves. We're not just justifying or talking shit to justify ourselves. We go in the book to justify ourselves. Where you come from? Hell is this? Just so? Yeah, we go in the book to justify ourselves. We not just justifying ourselves because we say is this and that is what it is, and believe me, I say is that and believe me, don't ask me no fucking question after. Hell no. We have proof, and the scriptures is the proof. And I'm going to read one last precept here and close out, because this is what the scriptures say. It says in 1 Thessalonians 5 and 21, it says, Salakia, prove all things and hold fast to that which is good. Prove it. Prove it. That is what the man trying to get there. Prove it. That was our next segment where he was saying, basically, prove what, how you're proving that all there is the people, that they are the people. How we so sure? How we so sure? Prove it. Stop talking in your ass and fucking prove it. Because we could prove what we say. Shalom. Till you like that, Cam. Hopefully you've been edified. Till the next time, all praises and glory goes to Yahweh. Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham, Shalom to the like.